Hi, this is Lane8492. This is my true crime story video I'm doing today. This one is up in the state of Missouri. This was the case of Missouri's death row inmate Lance Collin Shockley. You see, Lance Collin Shockley was convicted in the fatal shooting of Missouri State Highway Patrol trooper or state policeman Dewayne Graham. You see, Lance Collin Shockley and his sister's fiance, Jeffrey Bayless, had gotten in Bayless's truck. And from the looks of it, they were both drunk and got involved in a car accident. And Bayless died in the accident and took off. And of course, Missouri State Policeman Dewayne Graham was sent to investigate. And as it turned out, Lance Collin Shockley was the suspect involved in this fatal accident. So he was investigating, and that's when Lance Collin Shockley targeted Dewayne Graham, who was a sergeant and a 12-year veteran in the Missouri State Police. So after Sergeant Dewayne Graham of the Missouri State Police had just finished his shift and had arrived home, that's when Lance Collin Shockley was alleged to have gone to his house with a rifle and eventually shot Missouri State Policeman Dewayne Graham, which definitely put Lance Collin Shockley as the #1 suspect in this crime. And as a result, they were able to find Lance Collin Shockley and place him under arrest, not just for the fatal hit and run, but for the murder of Missouri State Policeman Sergeant Dewayne Graham. Shockley was put on trial because, meaning that he had murdered a law enforcement officer in Missouri. He was found guilty and sentenced to death. And earlier this year, his final appeal was rejected. The writ of certiorari was rejected by the Supreme Court of the United States, and Andrew Bailey, the Attorney General of Missouri, requested a date of execution from the Missouri Supreme Court, which was accepted. And as a result, Lance Collin Shockley was served his death warrant, setting his execution for October 14th of this year. This will be the 101st execution carried out in the state of Missouri since they brought back the death penalty. The top 5 states that have carried out the most death sentences now are Texas, Florida, Virginia. Of course, Florida and Virginia are tied, but however, Florida is going to be ahead. These are the top 5 states who have carried out executions: Texas, Oklahoma, Florida, Virginia, and of course, Virginia and Florida are tied, but Virginia doesn't use the death penalty anymore since they repealed it. So Florida is going to be the 3rd soon, after Florida carries out the execution of Michael Bernard Bell. And number 5 would be Missouri. And Missouri's carried out the most death sentences in the state region known as the Midwest. I guess the second most would be Ohio. But executions are on hold there under the governor, Mike DeWine. Of course, next year when he's up for re-election, when the governor's match is up for re-election, Mike DeWine won't be able to seek another term because his 2-term limit expires next year. But what put Lance Collin Shockley on Missouri's death row is being that he shot a police officer who was a Missouri State Policeman, Sergeant Dewayne Graham of the Missouri Highway Patrol or State Police. Well, hope you enjoy this video and let me know what you think. Thanks.